I sort of try to represent in my art emotions for which I have a harder time expressing. So I witness a lot of grief and sadness in this world, which also comes from me, but from other people as well. And so I try to sort of work through that in my art. Typically, right now I focus a lot on drawing the human figure. And one of my art pieces is just, myself, my hands, my face, my eyes. And I kind of would like to represent perhaps sadness as an emotion without having to show myself physically crying on a canvas. There's this one work that I call Untitled, because I don't really have a title for the emotion it expresses. And so it's sort of, I couldn't really describe it to you in words because I can't really describe it myself. One thing that comes to mind for developing as an artist is probably developing a technical skill. I don't want to be limited by not knowing exactly how to portray what I see in my mind. I'm still developing. I think I have a long ways to go, and I hope that my art will be able to communicate on behalf of me, for me, when I cannot. But I do want to use it to, express more narratives. I definitely want to be more of a storyteller with my art. As an artist, I strive to create art that carries a burden for me. I'd like to sort of work through my own inner emotions through my art and make sense of the reality in which we live in. I definitely like to draw from life as I see it. So just everyday occurrences, what my life looks like, my mother, family, myself. I don't know. I'm able to pursue the own path that I want to in art. I personally go through very depressive periods in my life, and I sort of seek to put them on the canvas and sort of work through what I go through. Here, for one of our printmaking projects, I did do this figure of this veiled woman with sort of the colors of the Palestinian flag, and she's wearing the keffiyeh. Both my mother and I are impacted by the tragedies that we see happening in our world, especially the conflict in Gaza right now and in other parts of the world. And so I'd want to, I don't know about memorializing their challenges in my artwork, but at least, or raising awareness to it even, but I definitely want to acknowledge it. I don't want to profit off of somebody's grief in a sense, but I do think it is helping me come to terms with how I process my own sadness and depression at times. So I definitely need to think around how I want to portray that more accurately. I look up to my mother, and she's sort of an artist, abstract artist in her free time. She's very precise in her line work, which is something that I try to do a bit, but it's very much, geometric forms and shapes, a lot of natural objects. And it's something so different from myself that I find myself really attracted to it. It was hard to grasp with the fact sometimes that I only had my mom to rely on, and it's hard because I know she sacrifices so much for me, and does a lot for me being a single mom. We sort of came from a low-income background, but I definitely wanted her to be, more outgoing at times, or more of a father-like figure to me, or, more open, or many other things. I had a hard time grasping with some of the decisions she made, especially a big one was deciding to stay in America and not go back to Bulgaria where she was born. And it was a very lonely experience, I think, growing up with a single mother. But it's not something that I would trade for anything else in the world, and she's a very precious person to me. Art is definitely made more powerful by the message behind it, so I think it would be nice if, with my art to an extent, I could sort of advocate for a particular movement or cause, or have some more powerful story behind it. I am an artist because there is no other medium which expresses that which I want to share with others in a manner that is as honest and beautiful. In the future, I hope to never give up on my art, and I hope that I can come back to this interview someday and see how much I've grown. Mamo ako vidiš това, обичам те много.